Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Welcome to Fuse FM. This is Rocket Science with me, Paddy.
And me, Iqra.
And me, Megan.
And what we're going to talk about this week?
We'll be talking about controversies and conspiracy theories in science this week, which is quite applicable because I hear that a couple of very controversial figures in science have entered the country this week, which I think Iqra will be talking to us about later.
I shall be.
Ooh, exciting things. Right, how are we going to start this then? Do you want to kick off anyway?
Yeah, I'll kick off. So like Megan said, there was a certain figure that entered the UK. I don't know if anyone remembers the name of former doctor, now disgraced ex-doctor, Andrew Wakefield.
Okay, tell us more.
He was the guy who, back in the 90s, way back when we were little babies, being safely vaccinated. You can see where I'm going with this.
Okay,
yeah, Andrew Wakefield was the guy who made up data that suggested a link between autism and the MMR vaccine. And when it was published, it was picked up by The Lancet, which is this huge medical journal. When his work, and note that I use work in air quotes here, but you guys can't see that, was published, a lot of people got really panicky because they thought that the vaccine would give their children autism. And because people didn't really understand autism anywhere near as well as they do now, they were really scared. There was a lot of stigma around it, and they stopped vaccinating their children. And yes, Andrew Wakefield has re-entered the country this week. I read a really, really interesting article about how we should definitely be on the lookout for people like Wakefield, especially in the current post-truth era where people don't really care about facts and science.
So where's he actually... Oh, go on. I was going to say, where's he from?
Well, he's from the UK.
Is
but
he originally?
Yes.
Okay.
He was. He went to my parents' medical school, actually. And then he got, exiled to Texas, where he's been for the past few years.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, Andrew Wakefield was struck off the General Medical Council register of doctors who are licensed to practice here in the UK. Not only because he falsified data that endangered the lives of hundreds and possibly thousands of children, but also because he was known to have offered experimental treatment for autism to some of the parents who then approached him afterwards. And without them coming out and saying that he experimented on autistic children, that is a possibility of one of the reasons why he was struck off the register in the end.
I've just actually got a message from my mum saying my dad used to play rugby with him, and I just have to say, Dad, you didn't hit him hard enough.
Or maybe you did hit him hard enough.
Maybe you hit him
too hard. Yeah, that could be the problem here. Well, we know who to blame now. Just saying.
Well, but what was really, really interesting is his return to the UK has come amidst a fresh wave of anti-vaxxing controversy. So for those of you guys who don't know what the anti-vaxxing movement is, it's exactly what it says on the tin. You're basically against vaccines. A lot of people think that the illnesses that we have, like developmental illnesses like autism or ADHD, things like that, might actually be linked to vaccines themselves. All of this is pretty much unsubstantiated. There are lots of scientific studies, especially in the MMR case, that debunk those ideas. And quite a famous person who believes in the anti-vaxxing movement is Robert De Niro. Oh, dude.
What a shame.
Dude.
Because he's recently offered a quite substantial sum of money.
Yes, he has. This is quite controversial. He's offered, I think, $100,000 to anyone who can prove to him that vaccines don't cause any harm to young children or pregnant mothers. I'm not really sure what you want, Robert.
Well, I know what I want. I want to prove that and get that money.
Yes. And then donate it to vaccine research.
Having said that, there's actually been some science recently that might conclusively prove that enough for even Robert De Niro.
Ooh, go on.
I know. Well, scientists have pioneered a brain scan. So the idea is to take young kids, who are a few months old, and to scan their brains. Simple as that, really. Because there have been a few studies that have suggested a link between bigger brains shortly after birth and possible tendencies, like autistic sort of, I'm not going to say tendencies, but symptoms a couple of years down the line. Because a lot of the time you wouldn't realise that your child is on the spectrum until they're about 2 or 3, and you start expecting them to make more social interactions and start speaking and all the rest of it. And so it's a good way. They realised that they could predict 80% of the time whether or not the child was going to have autistic symptoms later on. And the idea was that you could scan your child's brain early on, and if they then were suspected of, maybe having autistic symptoms later on, you'd be informed early enough to then seek help with speech therapy if needed, or to try and get your child the best help from as early as possible. What's really interesting is a lot of people have pointed out that although it is a really, really small study, and it's the first of its kind, it would be really interesting to see if, obviously if you scan the brains of these children before they've gotten to vaccinating age, and then you can accurately predict that they'll have autism later on, then it proves conclusively that autism and vaccines have absolutely nothing to do with each other. But, so do hundreds of thousands of science studies since the 90s, so...
Yeah, every other study that looked at autism and MMRs also proved that there was nothing in common and no correlation or causation between them.
Yeah, and there has been a lot of apologising from the Lancet for not sort of checking the original study enough.
It was actually a journalist, funnily enough, that discovered that it was mostly complete, utter rubbish.
Yeah. We can't swear before 9 p.m.
It's not the watershed yet.
No.
As angry as Andrew Wakefield makes me. But he's actually just directed a film that came out last year called Anti-Vaxx.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxed.
And it's a conspiracy theory itself, so see what we did there? Yes, Wakefield genuinely believes that there's a conspiracy, or maybe he genuinely believes this, maybe he doesn't, maybe he's just trying to make things work in his way. I don't know. But he believes and has made a documentary about the conspiracy against him to cover up the supposed link between the MMR vaccine and autism. And
so
he's
what
made a
was
whole
conspiracy theory?
Government cover-up.
Oh.
It's always that.
It's always
Everything
a government
I've
cover-up.
read about
Government.
all the research I've done this week has been like, it's the government trying to do this, and they're hiding it from us.
Just
Every
like the
single
Swedish
one.
government covered up that fake terrorist attack last night.
Yeah. Oh dear. Don't bring that in.
We deal in real facts here.
Real facts.
Real facts. There's no controversy about that. There was no terrorist attack. But yeah, so that's my little story for this week.
The controversy, or not even a controversy, of vaccinations.
Oh my god, it really, really annoys me. I deleted someone off Facebook. This is me getting full-on passive-aggressive. I just delete people off Facebook. I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with this. No to your opinions. Because otherwise I'll just engage in argument, and that's not very nice.
I've met a couple of people who, do question it, and I have a friend of mine who's doing disease biology, who I will just let loose on people because she will just go crazy at them, being like, no proof, do this, do that, vaccinate your children.
Well, what was really interesting was this person is someone who lives in Manchester and lives in the UK. And of course here you don't pay for vaccines for your kids. And if your kid is immunocompromised, or if they have asthma or whatever, then you can get the flu vaccine for free as well. And I thought it was really interesting that she shared this, because she shared a picture from a US anti-vaxxing page that was and it was like a picture of a toy doll, like baby doll, and it was stuck with needles, and the caption was something like, this is what your government takes money off you for, just to stick your baby with this many needles before the age of 2. And I was just like, but the government doesn't take your money to vaccinate your child here in the UK. Like, what are you trying to say?
Well, not in the
Please
same
vaccinate
way.
your children.
Yeah.
Please.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
And now, I think, what are you going to talk to us about now? Another conspiracy, is it?
For our next segment, as for those of you who's been listening, we each do a science segment or a segment on the topic that we're talking about. And my one's kind of in keeping with the whole film theme that we had from last week. And I'm going to talk about the controversy that is de-extinction, like that of Jurassic Park.
So, de-extinction Do you want to tell us what that actually
So
means?
yeah, so
Yeah, because
de-extinction.
I've never seen Jurassic
just like
Park.
you-
Sorry, guys.
Whoa.
What?
Stop the show.
No one can see this, but
Hang
they're
on.
both looking at me with like incredulous expressions on their faces and just disappointment.
You have to have watched Jurassic World. I mean, not to say that it's any
No.
as good, but
Should I just sink lower in my chair right
yeah.
now?
I mean, come on,
Okay.
Chris Pratt.
I love Chris Pratt. I do. Like, don't get me wrong. I just haven't got round to it
You're
yet.
moving away from the fact you haven't seen Jurassic Park.
I know, but
Forget
also,
Jurassic World. I haven't seen Jurassic World. There's no point seeing that.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's the
Yeah,
same
but
principle either
It's
way.
not the same. It's hardly
Same
iconic.
principle. So it's the idea of de-extinction, essentially, which
Wow.
is it's also known as, much cooler, resurrection biology.
Much cooler.
Ooh.
Way
Easily
cooler.
much cooler.
Imagine telling someone that you're doing a PhD in resurrection biology.
Oh, it'd be great. It's a bit like saying you want to do something like regeneration biology, and that's like Wolverine kind of stuff. But yeah, so it's basically the process of reviving an organism, or one that resembles...
Stop shaking your head at me, Paddy. I'm sorry I haven't seen Jurassic Park, okay? Megan, you were saying.
Sorry, it's reviving an organism or something that resembles, something that resembles an organism that has been previously extinct. And by this, it could be sort of a hybrid of an extinct organism and a current organism, and that would still kind of count as de-extinction. And there are a lot of conspiracy theories about dinosaurs, and a lot of people do believe that Jurassic Park has already happened, and that the government are hiding it. That
Again.
damn governor
Same
again.
again.
Yeah, and it's they're hiding the fact that we've already brought dinosaurs back from the dead. And one of my favourite conspiracy theories is that dinosaurs built the pyramids
With their tiny hands.
with their tiny little
Tiny
hands.
little can't reach their own head hands. Yeah.
Exactly. It's one of my favourite ones. But this idea of de-extinction is a bit of a controversial issue, because obviously people are like, you shouldn't bring dinosaurs back from the dead. They'll kill everybody, just like in Jurassic Park.
Is that what happens in Jurassic Park then?
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Oh dear, shouldn't have
Well,
done that.
There's no point in me watching it now.
Oh yeah, the whole thing's gone.
The premise is ruined.
Well, either way, I mean, Jurassic Park's actually based on a book by Arthur Conan Doyle called Lost World, and it's the idea that dinosaurs do still exist, but they're hidden in the Venezuelan jungle. But yeah, so
It's very specific.
I know it's a very
Venezuela.
very specific thing, but the idea is we might be able to bring animals back from the dead. And if anyone's been reading the news this week, we actually have started the process of bringing back woolly mammoths.
You know, I was actually going to ask about woolly mammoths specifically.
First one back.
I mean, they're not dinosaurs, kind of like that. They're not as scary and sharp-toothed as dinosaurs, and it is pretty cool because
I'm just thinking about all the creatures from Ice Age now and who I'd want back.
Exactly.
Fid.
Yes.
Manny, is it Manny the woolly
Manny the mammoth.
Yeah,
Manny the
bring
woolly
him
mammoth.
back. So basically, what happened is about when was it? It was a couple of years ago. They discovered a woolly mammoth baby, which they've named Lyuba, named after the place in Russia that
Wow.
they found her.
How do you spell
La-
lube?
Lyuba. Yeah, they found her in the Russian Arctic, and what was the most incredible thing about this mammoth baby is that she was perfectly preserved and even had running blood.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? It was super cool. And she's nearly 40,000 years old. So it sparked the idea that one day we might actually be able to clone woolly mammoths and bring them back from extinction. Which, to be fair, the reason they went extinct in the first place is because we killed them from hunting and like eating them. So I guess
And also the Ice Age.
and also the Ice Age,
I think.
maybe. I mean, it was partly the Ice Age that made their territories smaller,
Okay.
as well as, us having a bit of a nibble.
A bit of a nibble.
A bit of a nibble on a big old mammoth. The discovery just sparked this idea, and this week Harvard have announced that they are planning on using a specific gene editing tool called CRISPR. CRISPR.
My
I
good
don't
old
know.
friend CRISPR.
Look, CRISPR. I have no idea. I keep seeing it all over the place in biology, and I have actually no idea what it actually means.
I don't want to go into detail. on
No, me
CRISPR.
neither.
Long story short, it's very exciting for people in gene research, and
It's
it basically
great
they're
gene
like
editing.
tiny little scissors that you can use to cut out pieces of. And I'm actually
Tiny
We're
like,
little
both,
making
scissors.
they are
little
like
scissors
tiny
with my hands
molecular
right now.
scissors that you can cut out DNA and then put
And
new
then you can-
DNA in, or just take that bit out away.
Yeah,
It's great.
it's awesome.
But they're using this technique to, rather than bringing back an official woolly mammoth, they're actually going to use this gene editing tool to bring back elephant mammoth embryo hybrids. So they're going to create this hybrid between the two of them.
What do they call it? What do they call it?
Oh, this is the cutest thing. Mammophants.
How cute is that?
Oh my god, that's awesome.
They're bringing these hybrid mammophants back to life,
I wonder
potentially.
how big they'd be.
Pardon?
I wonder how big they'd be.
That'd be interesting. I wonder what they'd look. I just kind of want a fluffy elephant. I think that'd be really cute. But the interesting thing is when I actually first found out about this mammoth baby being discovered, they had this discussion about one day they might actually be in our zoos. We might one day have mammoths in our zoos to some extent.
That would be so cool.
Exactly.
What would you bring back? What other than a mammoth?
Oh.
What would you bring back?
See, I'm just thinking about Ice Age now. I think it would be cool to bring back saber-toothed tigers.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
mine. I was going to say saber-toothed tigers.
Because, you know, we already protect a lot of big cat families in zoos and conservations and the rest of it. We could just add them to what we've already got.
There's one cooler thing than that. Have you seen the woolly rhinos?
Oh, yeah.
No, woolly rhinos.
Yeah.
What?
Saber-tooth and woolly rhinos.
I mean, the rhinos aren't doing great in real life.
Yeah, I mean, the
That's
regular
why only
rhinos
the
are
woolly
doing
ones.
great. Okay.
Woolly rhinos. I kind of want to bring back Sid from Ice Age. Just
But
because...
isn't Sid just a sloth?
Yeah, he's just
he's
a
an
sloth.
well,
Sloths
he's an
exist.
extinct
Oh, he's a giant
species of
sloth.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's a giant sloth. Right, okay, we can bring
there
back
are
Sid
quite
as well.
a few really cool giant animals that went extinct. Giant sloths actually are huge. We're talking the size of elephants.
They're
in
called
real life.
megatheriums.
Megatheriums.
In that case, Ice Age is slightly incorrect.
I would quite also like to bring back
Size-wise.
a couple of dinosaurs, little tiny ones that, like, in
Little
the
tiny
dinosaur
baby
movies are actually quite
dinosaurs.
cute and cuddly.
Oh.
Yeah, but surely then you're just opening up the Pandora's box of dinosaurs. Because if you're going to bring one dinosaur back,
Might as well
The
bring
others are
them
going to
all.
get jealous, and you're going to have to bring them all back eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
and then we're all going to be eaten by T-Rexes, and that's the way that goes.
I've just realised that those. So I don't know why we're going to Ice Age now. I'm sorry, but we
No,
are.
just go,
I
go.
love that
Okay,
film.
but
Those
an-
films.
the sloth and the mammoth were around the same time.
Yeah.
I didn't realise they actually were, because I assumed it'd just be pretty kind of grab animal from here and there and just
Yeah.
chuck them together in a film for kids. That's great.
Yes.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where actually you don't realise how accurate they are, because I'm pretty sure saber-toothed tigers from around the same time as well.
Mm.
Probably.
You're the one with the Google in front of you.
I
know-
am the one with the
I think
Google.
I actually...
Yes.
The title is The One with the
The
Google.
one with the Google. No, but no, they are from around the same time. So actually, funnily enough, Ice Age is quite accurate. So
Well, quite accurate.
Sid's
other
tiny
than
in
talking
comparison to
animals,
Manny, though.
I'm more thinking about the squirrel in Ice Age.
I'd like to bring that
Scrat.
squirrel back. I mean, didn't he get his own
I wish
spin-off
we bought-
series?
I'm going to point out that I'm not a Scrat fan. Like, I don't
I'm
see...
not.
It was the
Ice
only good
Age
bit
could
about
be
the
Ice
movie.
Age without him. It.
Wasn't he just like a... Okay, look, we're moving off topic. But
We are.
Moving off topic here from
yeah.
de-extinction.
But I think my point still stands.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Cool.
But that's really all I had to say about de-extinction, other than the fact that obviously bringing back a woolly mammoth is quite a cool idea, but it does bring into question, where does it stop? However, it also proves a couple of conspiracy theories incorrect. For example, they do not dinosaurs and other extinct animals do not live underground, because a lot of people believe that they hid underground to avoid the terrible environment that was going on with, the giant meteor hitting Earth.
This links with another underground conspiracy theory. They think there's an underground underworld on Earth at the moment, and you can get to it from kind of the poles.
Oh,
This is
okay.
on the list of conspiracy theories I was looking through to kind of choose mine. And there's some stupid stuff. We'll go into it later, but...
I like the
yeah.
sound of
It's
this.
because there's loads of things, because there's a movie based on the idea that dinosaurs went and hid underground,
Yeah.
and they're still there. But I hate to break it
Is
to
that
people.
the one... Is that...
Is it Brendan
based on a-
Fraser or is it Nick Cage?
Yeah, I was
One
going
of
to say,
them?
it's based on a book by Jules Verne, isn't it?
Yeah,
that
I
one?
think
I don't
so.
know what it's called.
It's one of the two
Right.
actors. I mean, I can't remember who it is, but either way, it was a bit of a bizarre idea. I'm sure it made a
People
good
genuinely
movie.
believe that, though.
When
Yeah.
oh.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but they don't. However, we might be bringing them back, and rather than living underground, they may potentially be living on the Earth with us again one day.
I like it.
In the zoos.
Yeah.
Well, and on land, hopefully. I
Yes.
don't want them just being zoos. That'd be quite sad.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we'd have to breed them first and then release them into
Yeah.
the wild and make sure they'll be okay.
But then again,
Keep
they
tabs
might
on them.
not be adapted to this world that we've created.
Where do they fit into the food chain?
Exactly.
There are a lot of considerations.
Hmm.
But it would be cool to have a woolly mammoth.
Yeah,
just for the
Knocking
sake of having
around.
one, yeah.
I just love the idea of having a big woolly mammoth. It's all fluffy and nice. Then again, I wouldn't go hug an elephant, so I probably wouldn't go hug a woolly mammoth.
I'm going to talk now.
Okay.
But I'm going to start by just kind of going through some of these theories I found, because they are amazing. There's some really bad theories on here. So I've got some, such as the, well, obviously the moon landing hoax. Everyone has heard that.
I actually realised where that comes from. So, I think a couple of years before people saw the moon landings, or before the moon landings happened, we... right, okay, I've lost track.
Yeah,
A couple of years before the moon landings, there was a Stanley Kubrick film, you may have watched it, 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Have indeed.
And that was shot in the, I think, early to mid-60s. I'm not sure exactly when it was released.
1986,
it was in the 60s.
I think.
1989?
You just
I
guessed
did it in my essay recently.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I'm not trusting you on anything today.
I don't think it was that late.
Yeah.
It was quite early for a film of that sort of like caliber.
Yeah, I think it was way before that. I'm not gonna lie.
And he really, really wanted to be sure that he was right on the science. So he talked to a lot of people from NASA to have an idea of what they were doing and what they were expecting.
It had an 8 in it.
It's 1960, of course.
I thought 1968.
I'm pretty sure this is the first one.
1968. Is it 1968?
Have you Googled it?
Yeah, of course I have.
He who has the Google. Yeah. So before the moon landings. And so people went and saw 2001 A Space Odyssey in cinemas, and then a year later saw the moon landings and were like...
bit close. Similar. They've got similar spacesuits. I mean, like, the helmets on them
yeah,
are
because he
actually
wanted to
very
be
similar.
so scientifically correct. He wanted to be as realistic as possible. And it turns out a lot of people genuinely think that Stanley Kubrick worked with NASA to fake the moon landings.
Yeah, which is actually stupid and great at the same time.
Yes.
So that's
To be
number
fair,
one.
like 2000 Space One Odyssey has been dubbed the most accurate space science fiction movie of all time.
Well,
Yeah.
I've still not watched it. I know.
Me neither.
I've not watched a lot
How
of
have
films.
We're so uncultured.
It was on a list of films that you should watch while you're doing your undergrad and you still have time.
And
Make note, undergrads.
God, you guys.
You should do that.
You make me...
What else have we got?
Well, okay. I just want to quickly... Another film we talked about earlier was Journey to the Centre of the Earth. The one that you were talking about.
That's the
dinosaurs.
one.
Yeah.
That I was talking
Okay,
about.
we've got... I'm just going to read through. I've got a list here on rationalwiki.org.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of this site already. It's great.
I love a
But-
good rational wiki.
But there's stuff that's just silly. I just don't understand. Stuff like the Earth is in meltdown. The Earth is in meltdown. Literally, that's the theory, okay?
Okay, well, what does that entail exactly? I have questions.
I
What does
just
that mean?
It's climate change
Right.
stuff, but so you've got this, which is kind of the Earth. I think it's to do with the core heating up and melting Earth, okay? But then there's the other way around, which is climate deniers.
Right.
So there's that theory against kind of, the truth. So we've got
The
that
truth.
sort of
That
thing.
elusive.
Ah.
That elusive.
the classic.
thing.
We've got stuff like Area 51. Who's heard of Area 51?
I've heard of Area 51. That's where they keep the aliens.
It's where they keep the aliens, exactly, yeah. So that is... They think there was a crash site at Area 51 in the US.
And a lot of people actually think the Earth is flat still, don't they? That's
No,
the
no,
worst
wait.
thing.
No.
The best thing that I've seen is that I think it was the Twitter page for a society that believes that the Earth
Flat
is
Earth
flat.
Society.
Flat Earth Society. The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe.
All around. Amazing.
That is one of my favourite things ever to happen. Like, someone must have written that and was like,
Should we?
Yeah,
just
yeah, okay.
Hesitating over
That
enter.
seems
just being
fine,
like,
guys.
Publish? No.
Publish that.
Oh, yeah, go on then. Just chuck it
guess
in.
we've got our bio now.
Yeah, just don't understand that. Amazing. So as you said before, the Hollow Earth kind of underworld one. That's a theory. That's people believe that. So it says, why don't I guess it says it's located in the Arctic regions. Conveniently where we don't live and it's difficult to get to. It's conveniently located there,
Well,
as you would.
The thing I have, the problem I have about conspiracy theories is, most of them have been proven to be incorrect and complete utter rubbish. However, a lot of them have yet to be proven incorrect.
I've got one of them.
Yeah.
The US government is operating a Stargate program. So no.
You can't disprove it. That's the thing.
No, do you know what Stargate is?
is
No.
ringing a bell.
Have you seen Star Trek?
Yes, briefly.
Right. I mean, this
Not
is
all the
difficult.
TV series. I've seen the recent films.
Okay, I'm going to
Not
try and
massive
find...
Trekkie, but I understand things.
What is Stargate then?
Well, so no, not
Wasn't it like a spin-off series?
See, that's what I think it is. This is why I'm kind of like hesitating because I'm
Or
pretty
just
sure
a
it
sci-fi
was,
series
It was a
that
sci-fi
was on-
series that's on around the same time.
I don't know if it was.
I don't think it is Star Trek. I'm just saying
Anywho,
that.
Stargate SG-1 or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Stargate
That used to be
SG-1.
on.
Okay.
Never watched it, but
It's
I know
like
of it.
military science fiction.
okay, cool.
And It's hard to explain. It's just mad that this is what people think it's about. It's kind of like I think there's been a war. I'm trying to think, but it's to do with a portal. This is what I don't get. This is what I really don't like about it, and I'm mixing it up with some other portal in Star Trek, I think. But they think there's a portal from the US
to
guess where they think it might have been, or who is involved in this. No,
Mel Gibson.
Mars.
Saddam Hussein.
Right, they think there's a portal that goes from Iraq to the US.
They think that the US government is operating a Stargate program, and the reason that we had a war in Iraq is because Saddam Hussein had one.
And that's been proven, has it?
No, that one hasn't been proven. I mean, obviously he could have, if it was a thing.
I mean, they also said he had weapons of mass destruction, so let's just hold our horses here. But you know, that's an interesting thing that people spend their time thinking.
Yeah, but
what else you got?
Okay, so I've got some more here. So we're going to go through a couple more. Let's go with Okay, so some of them again. This is like government cover-ups. There's government cover-ups.
That is a cop-out answer.
I know, but it's just what people go for. Free energy technology suppressed by governments and oil industry. You know, to just keep their money. Yeah,
green energy is being suppressed by governments and oil companies.
That's true.
And that's not wrong.
So this is one I've actually looked at, which is kind of related to last week, which is so you've heard about the mass die-off of honeybees.
Yeah, we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And the little robotic
and how we're going to build
robotic
robotic ones. So people think that big corporations are doing this just on purpose to kill bees, so that they can hike up prices of food. So about a third of all, so this is in the US, about a third of all food is pollinated by honeybees, and 90 out of 100 of the most commonly used crops for the 70 out of 100 of the most used crops in the world. Okay, 90% of which are pollinated by honeybees.
Wow!
So you can imagine the amount of people, like the number of people that are going to be kind of affected by a dwindling supply of bees pollinating them.
Wow.
They think this is all a kind of a cover-up.
Big conspiracy theory.
It's mad.
I wish we had a little tune to play here, like do 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 do.
What, X-Files style?
Yeah, X-Files
style. We should have had a little conspiracy jingle.
Our jingle man will be on that now.
Right now.
Yeah, so this is kind of to do with colony collapses.
Oh.
But they also, this is real, actually. It's not just a joke. The fact that big corporations are doing this is a bit kind of taking the mick.
So you said Colony Collapse, and I automatically thought of the song by Architects. Great song.
Great song.
People should listen to that.
We should play that.
Bit heavy for this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit heavy.
But it's to do with kind of pesticides, insecticides, some GMO stuff, which a bit tedious link, some of them. But it's happening. Bees are dwindling. So get bees. That's my tip for the week.
Get bees.
Get bees.
Get you some bees.
Get you some bees.
Got bees?
Got bees.
Got bees?
Dear. Right.
On that note.
On that note, I was gonna give you one more of these, which is one that everyone has heard and is obviously always kind of countered, which is chemtrails. So these are kind of, you see a plane fly in the sky and you see this kind of cloud it emits behind it.
Yes.
People believe that these are being kind of, you've heard of cloud seeding, where people make clouds basically to increase rain or whatever they want to do. They think they're putting some metals, very, very minute metals and other such things, biological agents, other chemicals, into the engines of planes.
Right. So
that when they fly over, they then kind of cloud seed and prevent the sun shining down on Earth with the metals they're meant to absorb.
Okay.
And I don't understand why.
I don't think that's how metals work, but sure.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. And obviously it doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. There's been studies that so the people who believe this, they do their own studies, and obviously they come up with the fact that, there is more metal. But these are often flawed. They're taken kind of from soil samples, which obviously, soil contains metals, or they do them off of kind of runoff in cities. So, a city covered in metal, water runoff off of metal. You're going to find metal.
I'm still not sold on what exactly is supposed to be the reason behind
I don't know.
throwing
There's
chemicals
some which
down
are to do with
cities.
military versions, so they're testing weapons, which I don't get again, because obviously why would you test a weapon on it's obviously going to be on a minute scale.
And also, why on your own people?
Yeah.
Because surely, it's all flights that do this and not just...
Well, that's the thing, they think there's
international
some. They've got pictures of planes they think are definitely this one's making chemtrails, and all it is, it's the same thing as any other cloud. It's just water vapor.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense. It's
doesn't
great.
make any sense.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just reading about them now because I didn't realise because they're called chemtrails in the conspiracy theory, but they're actually called contrails.
yeah, which
or
is
vapor
condensation
trails.
trails,
Yeah.
and
'Cause they're
chemtrails is
actually
chemical trails.
line-shaped clouds. Because I guess I figured they were clouds, but they're line-shaped, so I didn't really think they were actually.
Well, that's where it normally comes from, because they find weird shaped ones. So there's ones that are U-shaped, and they're like, it's got to be chemtrails. Look, there's a U-shape. They're obviously kind of going around how you know if you see a tractor in a field kind of slowly meandering in kind of loop. Well, not loops. They're not loops, are they?
I know what you mean, though.
They're kind of zigzaggy shape. They see that in the sky and they're like, chemtrails. They're just kind of seeding over. No, that's just how a flight kind of comes into land. It's got to wait in the
It's
air.
got to go around.
Yeah, that's how it works. And there's lots of pictures and endless pictures. There's like a whole library of kind of proofs and then disproofs of these planes.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Like the internet has some very weird pockets, doesn't it?
It's
It's
Like,
going to have some very
water.
weird people.
yeah.
that too.
Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
You're back again. This is Rocket Science, and we've now moved on to the quiz section. I
This
don't know
is
what
my
this is called.
favourite
What's
bit.
it called? What are you calling this?
Oh, I named it Fact or Fiction because
Okay.
I feel like that's quite a I don't know, catchy tune song.
Yes,
saying
I like
word.
it. And I've switched up my my buzzer sound this
Oh
week.
yeah, so we've got buzzers each week, which I don't know reflect how we're feeling to some
What?
extent. I
Do
don't know.
they? I need a new buzzer because I don't have a
Well,
reflect how I'm
this
feeling.
isn't reflecting on how I'm feeling, but
Go on, then,
I
how are
miss
you
watching
feeling
Game
then?
of Thrones, so... There's bells as well.
You're feeling shame, are you?
I'm not feeling ashamed of anything. And definitely not of my buzzer.
Right, I need to think of one. I've got. Oh, okay, I do have one, but oh my
Oh.
word!
Sorry. That was my bell.
That, well, I've got one called Chicken Song, and I don't know what it is.
Chicken song.
Done. Easy. Right,
Okay.
I have a buzzer.
Alright, I
That's
think
our
we're very
buzzers
different
sorted
buzzers.
then.
We're ready to go.
I did
So
not know
this
what that was
week
going
I
to
do
be
have
like.
to bear in mind that I need to keep track of who wins what. I'm going to give you each.
Sorry, that was just my phone telling me the battery's dying. That wasn't my buzzer.
Okay, your buzzer.
I don't know
I mean,
anything.
it's done it twice now. I'm kind of starting to think that you could have just.
My phone is
Try to
dying,
trigger
to
me,
be
yeah.
honest.
So the way that this is going to work is, you both get to guess if it's fact or fiction.
Right.
The statement I'm going to say. But whoever buzzes first will get the point, and if they're right, they'll get the point. But if they're wrong, the other person gets the point if they're right. But you can both.
Is it
say
just
fact.
like whoever buzzes first gets first choice?
Yeah,
on
pretty
Yeah,
much.
basically.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of badly planned.
Look,
quiz.
just
It's okay.
throw us some questions.
All right. So
Yeah.
first question: humans are naturally covered in invisible stripes. Oh, that's
We both went at the same time then.
Oh, I don't know.
okay. You both get a point then for this one, regardless.
Okay.
Well, if we get it right.
If you get it right.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, I think it's true.
I don't
Ooh.
think so. I don't
I-
think so.
I think I've heard this. I don't know if it's just obviously
No, because
fake.
like, no,
I
just no.
You ready?
Yes.
I don't know what it would be, but yeah, I'm going with that.
It's fact.
Yes.
This is really interesting, actually. Human skin is actually overlaid with what dermatologists called blastcoralines. I can't really pronounce it
Yeah.
properly. And it's actually a pattern of stripes covering the body from head to toe, and they're invisible under normal conditions.
What's the point of them?
But they actually become apparent. They appear when you get a disease of some kind of the skin,
Okay.
and they manifest themselves. And actually, you become stripy, a bit like a zebra.
Is there much point in them?
So
Other
I
than
thought
that-
I was brown,
No.
but clearly I'm like brown and stripy. Like there's light brown and there's
I'm
some
proud.
darker brown.
Brown
And
and stripy and brown.
so with you guys being white, how does that work?
Well,
You
the
just have
stripes
all
are actually
shades of
brown.
white?
The stripes are brown, at least in the photos that I've seen.
Hey.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a paler
Oh.
shade of white.
But,
Well,
yeah, you could be even paler than you already are, Paddy.
Yeah.
So that point goes to Paddy.
I get a
there.
point though, so I
God
get
damn
a
it.
thing.
You get a thing.
Cool.
There you
Right,
go.
I'm ready. Next question.
You should relieve the pain of jellyfish stings by peeing on them. Again, the same
Again.
time.
Definite truth.
I think that's truth. That's the thing that people get told, right?
I saw
Okay,
that
so you
on
both
Friends.
say fact.
I saw that on Friends as well, to be honest.
I mean,
it's fiction.
Is it?
No.
Friends lied to you. I mean,
No.
Friends never lies to you normally, other than this.
I don't think.
I don't
How?
trust Friends
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't trust you.
You don't trust me? Well, actually,
Tell me more.
as from what I learned from marine biology as well, is that if you actually peed on it, you would cause more pain, because what it does is it actually stimulates stinging cells that get embedded in your skin when you get stung, and it makes them like sting more. So if you actually get stung by a jellyfish, what you should do is either wash it in vinegar, because it's
Oh
an
no, I
acid
should
to
have known the
neutralise
answer
it.
to this because I read Kensuke's Kingdom when I was like 11, and that's what he does. He washes it in vinegar.
Yeah,
when the
wash
boy
it in
gets
vinegar,
stung.
or at least hot, salty water that you actually from the sea. Because don't wash it in fresh water either. Just
Sorry, that's just for
shame on
me.
you.
Shame on me for not knowing, and
I would choose mine.
On
but it's just
Paddy
a
as
chicken
well.
song.
there's some bells as well. We're all ashamed.
I'm shamed.
I'm ashamed.
We'll go back to some film-esque type stuff,
Yes,
because
please.
we've been going on that theme as well this week. The film Interstellar led to groundbreaking new science discoveries in real life.
Shame.
Yes.
Yes,
Fact.
I think so. I think that's a fact.
See, I don't know if I want to play the card or.
I don't know if it's like life imitating art kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm sure they found something out.
But having said that, there's probably a lot of science films. Oh dear. Like, for example, 2001: A Space Odyssey, that will showcase things that are science fiction at the time. Oh, my battery's dying. I know it's dying. That will showcase stuff that just looks like fiction at the time, and then will probably become a thing later on. Thank you, Paddy.
So are you both saying fact? Are you
I'm
both-
gonna say fiction just for the sake of going against it. But I think you're going fact fiction with these now.
Well, I make a purpose of avoiding any clear patterns.
Okay.
I like being unpredictable.
I'm going fiction.
Okay. Well, the answer is fact. So, Iqra, you get the point, because theoretical physicist Professor Kip Thorne was the science specialist on set, who helped work with the special effects team to create realistic black holes. And because of the work that they did on trying to visualize them, it actually helped scientists make new discoveries and publish 2 papers on black hole theory based on the film Interstellar.
We knew that.
That is so cool.
I'm
not gonna lie, mine was a complete guess. That it was a fluke. It was a fluke.
knew that. I'm sure.
Hey, Paddy.
Okay, yeah, look, right. There's still more in this.
The next question
We're
is...
even anyway.
The surface area of Russia is greater than the surface area of Pluto.
Oh,
I'm trying.
I want to say fiction.
I want to say fact.
I
Say fact.
think Pluto's bigger than. It's big enough.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
What?
Russia's landmass is roughly 6.6 million square miles. Pluto's is just over 6.4, so Russia's surface area is bigger than Pluto.
Not bad.
This is why Pluto isn't a planet anymore,
Yeah.
Russia's colder as well. I've heard.
and that is also a fact apparently.
And
Fact
has
as well.
warm
Yeah,
woolly
that's
mammoths.
the
Facts
second
according to
fact.
Paddy Fowler.
Yeah, Google told me. It didn't.
You are the one with
told
Google.
me.
It's a lie.
Is this the last question? How many more? We can do 2 more.
We've got a couple more, yeah.
2 more questions? Okay.
Yeah, 2 more.
Next one.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, wow, what's the
Haven't
answer?
even
Go on then, fact
that
or
was
fiction?
accidental. That
Yeah,
was
fact or-
accidental.
No,
guys.
no, fact or fiction, you've got to tell us.
But she's not even said
No,
it. yet.
well, you shouldn't have rung your bell.
Shame.
On you.
Okay, right, go on.
Shame on you, sir.
Okay, so methane emissions of termites is responsible for more yearly ozone depletion than cows are.
Shame.
So I've heard.
Iqra?
I'm gonna call that fiction.
Okay.
I've heard this sort of thing before. I've heard
Have
about
you?
the termites. Not just I've heard about termites. I have also
You know
heard
that
this
they
theory
exist.
linked to termites. I'm just trying to work
I'm guessing
out.
there's probably a lot of termites out there, but I'm thinking there's a lot of cows out there as well.
Yeah, I'm
So the
trying to
question is, do termite farts contribute more to ozone depletion than cows?
What cows fart?
Yeah.
It's not really in the farts, it's in the burps. Did you know
Is
that?
that
Cow
true?
gas.
That's a fact. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to
I've never
search that.
seen
up.
a cow burp.
Well, no. Have you seen a cow fart?
Well, yeah, because I live on a farm.
Well, okay. Well, that's
Fair enough.
I'm glad we went. Yeah, but surely. Okay, right. I don't know what to go. Okay, I'm going to say fact, just because.
I said fact.
Did you? Oh,
I did.
I thought you said fiction.
You said fiction.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't say fiction. I'm
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah,
Fiction.
You can
fiction.
change your answer. You can say.
No,
fact
I'm gonna
now.
say. I'm gonna stick with fiction.
I mean, I
So
think.
one of us will get it right.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
fiction.
Is that
but
your
I'll say fact.
reasoning? One of us.
Well,
will be
ideally
right.
it would be me
This
because
is
I
a
want to
team
win.
Game. No, the whole point is you're meant to be competing, guys.
Well, if we're competing, I'd just play the same answer as her every single time and just draw it out. But
Right, the answer is fact.
yeah,
God,
Well done,
Damn it.
Paddy. And the only reason behind it is because there's so many of them.
but there's lots of cows.
there are,
Not as many as there are
lots of cows,
termites.
but, like,
If you think
Yeah,
about,
but cows are a bit bigger.
I want to know the ratio. I want to know the ratio of like how many termite farts is the same as a cow fart / burp.
you've just typed in cows to termite. You need to type a ratio there.
I'm typing in
Cows to
ratio.
termite ratio.
Okay, it doesn't have ratio. I'm just going to Google number of cows in the world. You keep going. I'm going to find this
Yeah.
out. Oh, if you type in number, the first thing that comes up is number of cows in the world. Not a joke. Google thinks that is the most important thing. That's amazing. I think it's listening. 1.4 billion.
That's a lot of cows.
That is a hell of a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
cows.
what I thought, but...
That is a lot of cows. Number of termites.
Yeah, I've tried something along those lines.
I feel like it's impossible to count the number of termites, though,
One,
because, you know,
two,
we haven't
A rough
domesticated
estimate.
termites.
A rough estimate.
4, 5... I've seen 5 so far.
From Google.
No,
Yeah, not in the
I
studio.
Don't know. Not in the studio. There's a termite man. Just kind
I
of
don't think we'd be anywhere near as calm if there were termites in the studio.
No.
I
Okay,
wouldn't.
but I can't find it. But there's lots of cows.
But there's
That's what we
even
found
more
out.
termites, and that's why
There's gotta
they contribute
be.
more to
Yes.
ozone
Well,
depletion.
I don't mind.
Well-
I've won now.
Yeah, well,
Wait, you haven't won the entire thing. Has
Yeah,
he?
there's only one more
But you
question.
can still try. It's the
Well, you can try.
Paddy, I might take a point away for you being a little
Okay, go on
arrogant
then.
person.
Go on, keep going.
The largest organism in the world is the blue whale.
Fiction, complete fiction. Organism. You said organism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I'm going to say also complete fiction. I feel like it's going to be a tree
It's
of
a
some
tree
kind.
or a fungus. The two I'd go for. I know there's a giant tree network that goes under and over and over. And it looks like
Oh.
looks like a forest, but it's all
It's
the same
actually all
tree.
the same. Yeah, I've seen that actually.
And there's also networks of fungal kind of connections, and they have their own kind of little internet thing. I'll find that out.
Fungal internet.
It's a fungal internet, yeah.
This is a really nice way to end the show because you're both right. It's
Yay.
fiction.
I mean, I still lost. but
It may be the largest animal in the world, but the largest organism. I could stumble over my words there and really say the wrong thing before
Largest.
the water shows. Is actually a fungus in East Oregon,
Hey, there we
which
go.
occupies
Hey.
2,300 plus acres of land underground, and it's over a millennia old.
Wow.
It's a big
who
old
knew?
mushroom.
There's actually something worth going to Oregon for.
Wow. Whoa.
Ooh,
Sorry, anyone listening in from Oregon. All
burn
one
from
of you.
Iqra there.
To be honest,
Iqra hates
an
you.
American once turned around and said, "Well, the UK is tiny. It's like the size of Oregon." And I was just like, "Whoa."
Don't
Whoa.
compare us.
Right, so that's the end of the show, and at the end of that game, we have 4 points to Paddy and 2 to Iqra.
Oh well.
See that 4.
Yeah, better luck next time.
All right
Iqra.
then.
Right.
Anyway,
I'll have you next
thanks
time.
everyone for listening, though.